Have you been wondering whether you should buy a hybrid Toyota versus a non-hybrid Toyota? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you my 5 top reasons why I believe buying a hybrid Toyota vehicle is a fantastic decision just ahead. Before I get to the top 5 reasons, yes, there is one slight drawback right now with the current climate that we're in, and that is that mostly the hybrid Toyotas and most hybrid other vehicles for other manufacturers do have a slightly longer wait time for a time of arrival when compared to the non-hybrid equivalent. So for example, if you're gonna wait 8 to 10 months for a non-hybrid Toyota RAV4, you can expect to almost double that wait time for a hybrid Toyota RAV4, but the extended wait time is more than worth it. Here's why. Well, to cut to the chase, better fuel economy, of course. You are going to be getting much better gas mileage in a hybrid Toyota versus a non-hybrid Toyota. For example, most of our customers state that they get, we'll use a RAV4, for example, around 400 to 500 kilometers on a full tank of gas on the non-hybrid RAV4s, where customers driving the hybrid RAV4s get anywhere from 700 to 800 kilometers. That's what they're stating, to a full tank. So it's almost double the fuel economy on certain Toyota vehicles. Some you benefit a little bit higher than others, a little bit lower than others, depending on the trim and the model. And obviously your driving style and habits. If you're driving more city driving versus highway driving, that will also affect your fuel economy. But overall, much better fuel consumption, of course, when going hybrid versus non-hybrid. Here's reason number 2. Reason number 2, the price gap between a hybrid vehicle and a non-hybrid vehicle for the Toyota lineup is generally around $2,000 to $3,000. So if you do the quick math, a $2,000 to $3,000 increase in MSRP in pricing over the course of a certain amount of time driving that hybrid vehicle, you will make that money back in your fuel savings. Depending on how much you drive, of course, it might take you a couple of months or sometimes a little bit more than a year or so, depending on how many kilometers you're putting on that vehicle. But overall, the price gap from hybrid to non-hybrid is generally around $2,000 or $3,000 in the Toyota lineup. So, I mean, that to me is an absolute no-brainer. If you were talking about a price gap of around $10,000 or something, I can say, okay, you got to really set back and consider if hybrid is right for you, but that is not the case. Thank you, Toyota. Reason number 3, going back to the topic of making your money back and having a good investment in a hybrid Toyota vehicle, and that is due to the lowered maintenance cost when you're driving a hybrid Toyota. So I did do a video about a year ago on the insanely low cost of maintaining a hybrid Toyota vehicle, and that is due to wear and tear. The hybrid Toyotas are known to have less wear and tear, breakdowns, and repairs. They are a lot less costly to maintain over the course of, let's say, 3 to 5 years or even longer. Here at our dealership, we've seen Camry hybrids come into our service department with well over 100,000 kilometers and still have the original brakes that were from the manufacturer. And that's because the overall powertrain system of a hybrid Toyota vehicle works differently than a non-hybrid Toyota vehicle. And it generally causes a lot less stress on many of the parts in that vehicle when compared to the non-hybrid. And I'm talking about with regards to due to acceleration, with regards to deceleration, braking, and so on. There's a lot less heat involved with operating a hybrid Toyota vehicle. Generally, the combustion engine does not get used as much, of course, than when compared to the non-hybrid Toyota vehicle or comparison. So yeah, there's a lot less heat going on. And of course, heat definitely causes wear and tear on these vehicles with regards to the engine, with regards to the brakes, and so on. So overall, lowered maintenance costs on wear and tear in the long run and even in the short term with a hybrid Toyota vehicle. Reason number 4, this is probably my most fun reason to go for a hybrid Toyota vehicle versus a non-hybrid Toyota is because there's more options, there's more packages, more trims. Have you ever sat back and realized that there is certain models on, for example, the RAV4 Highlander lineup that are not on the non-hybrid equivalent? For example, you've got the Bronze Edition Highlander Hybrid that you don't have on the non-hybrid Highlanders. For the RAV4s, you've got the Woodland Edition, you've got the XSE models, you've got the option and the ability to go with a black alloy wheel when going with certain trims and models. You've got the two-tone paint, the black roof. We all know that's very distinctive of the XSE model RAV4 hybrid. So definitely a lot of more color choices and option packages and different models in general. So you're able to broaden your spectrum a little bit when selecting which vehicle is the perfect fit for you. Saving the best for last, and this is reason number 5, and it's the acceleration and overall driving style of a hybrid Toyota vehicle versus a non-hybrid Toyota vehicle. What do I mean by that? In general, takeoff and acceleration is a lot more enjoyable and much more responsive in a hybrid Toyota vehicle versus a non-hybrid Toyota vehicle. And that is because of the way that the hybrid drivetrain and powertrain system works on these vehicles. It delivers 100% of the available torque right away on takeoff, whereas the non-hybrid Toyota vehicles, you have to wait till you get to a certain RPM range to really feel the maximum torque available in that engine and in that drivetrain and powertrain, whereas this is not the case with the hybrid Toyota vehicles. As you're accelerating, you do get delivered 100% of the torque on takeoff. So it is definitely a much more responsive and enjoyable drive overall. You definitely feel like you have much more power when you're driving, for example, a hybrid Toyota RAV4, Highlander, Camry, and so on versus the non-hybrid equivalent. Well, everyone, those are my 5 top reasons why I believe buying a hybrid Toyota versus a non-hybrid Toyota is the right decision. Whether you drive a lot or not, having all those benefits really do make a difference in the long run and in the short run for most customers and viewers. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.